Caribbean inside is the best. Caribbean inside is the best. Better than the rest. Are you on YouTube? So don't find me rude.
My name is Gypsy, and you are tuned to Caribbean Insight, an in-depth look at Caribbean music here in North America. I look at it whenever I'm here, and so should you.
Don't mistake me for Baron. You know why? I'm Sugar Aloes, and whenever I'm in the Big Apple, it's a home away from home. I must watch Caribbean Insight.
Oh, King Sugar!
Once you live by the sword, you'll die by the sword. Plus old people always say that never belongs to God. Certain things that happen within this lifetime, we may never live to see them occur a second time. We have seen Robbie as the president, also as prime minister. We have seen him survive an attempted coup that was staged by Abu Bakr. Yes, and every day we struggle with racism, hatred and strife. But there are things we'll never live to see again in this life. Like never again will Ramesh be this country's AG. Never again he will get to hang anybody. You would never see Trevor Sudaman knocking glass with Pandey again. Lass and Griffith will never get the next chance to cross floor and cause vote a Spain. Never again will you see with Mark as the speaker. Never again we will trust Ralph Maraj or his sister. You make quicker see for the next 5 years. Criminals have we on the street. But these things mentioned, you'll never see them again. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 la da ding. We had a past regime that came, serve and go, but they never promote racism and corruption. So when I was in power, we had it real hard, but they never talk about race to segregate Trinidad. Sparrow tried in song to convince the two races to stick together, but you will see back and today we must get visa to go Canada. Since the UNC came in, moral values went on the shelf. They even reached so far that they start to kidnap themselves. But never again will they tamper with the EBC. Never again they will fool we with talks about unity. You would never see Dan Raj Vancouver whining as though he going insane. Daphne Phillips will never get the next chance to make no Calypsonian shame. Never again will you see Assam as an MP. Never again you will see him compete with Eddie. You may quicker see Satmaraj daughter jump into Calypso every road. But these things mentioned, you'll never see them again. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 la da ding. No time in our history, as you may recall, had we had a party involving so much of a ball. Their actions were blatant, like they didn't care. In less than 3 years, the whole UNC turned millionaire. The first thing that had me suspicious is when we take disappear just so. We know the rice still remains a mystery. Where it went, God in heaven know. they all reap a harvest. Yes, they plunder and rape the land. That is why so many of them was charged with corruption. But never again will UNC govern this country. Never again they will get to vacuum with treasury. You would never see Kwaitong or yet Ming as finance minister again. Galbaran Singh will never get a next chance to confuse Trinidadian spread. Never again you'll see Kamala Harris the PM. Never again you'll see John Humphrey in charge of housing. You may quicker see man and retire and John Yule Williams in full. But these things mentioned, you'll never see them again. Ding ding and ding. Ding ding and ding, da ding, la da ding. Never is a strong room, which I understand. But remember, Pandey never win a fair election. The first time was Robbie, who gave him a play. Then he joined with Hayat Ali and they had a field day. When Pandey got the taste of power, he played the race card with full glee. He started advising his supporters, let's get them before they get weak. Yes, they divide this country from the adults to the children. That's why last election gone, we get rid of all of them. But never again you'll see Pandey as Prime Minister. Never again he will ride PBM1 with Oma. You will never see Gillian Lucky make Anthony a grandfather. And just to reach Biako, you'll never see Gypsy ride a helicopter. Never again will call Ocean Control NCC. Never again you'll see Jaguana Lambe somebody. You may quicker see a pink green jackass running all over Port. But these things mentioned, you'll never see them again. Good evening, grandstand. Ding, 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 la da ding. I made a serious observation a couple years ago, and my findings really disturbed me. I want you to know, every time we hold a criminal in high society, by the time the matter reach the courts, they get away scot-free. Whether it's a priest, a lawyer, or a politician, it seems like the wheels of justice grease with corruption. I find we should check out the system, cause listen my friend, it looks like the UNC no more law than the PNM. Cause Gopi Singh
get away scot-free
and Bill Chaitan,
they never charge you.
Papa black man did commit a crime and boast. Well now he in jail getting eaten roast. But Gypsy
get away scot-free,
Galbaran Singh
he free already.
When the UNC put their lawyers on the trail, none of them doesn't make no jail. Ding 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 la da ding. I remember back then when 1772 was the score. Two politicians from the PNM run and cross the floor. It was an act of no principle, so the critics say. And what made it worse is when Robbie gave the 2 seats away. Some legal advisors told my men not to worry. We're going to take this matter to the judiciary. PNM members was expecting some redress of the sort. If I remember clearly, I think Manning still in the court. Lass and Griffith
Get away scot-free.
Kelvin Ramnat
They never charge you.
Rowley did call Mrs. Peace as a hoe. They would have kicked out the backside long time ago. Subash Bandy
Get away scot-free.
Steve Ferguson
He free already.
was Israel Khan and Martino get on the trail. None of them wouldn't make a jail. All we just see is arrest. They charge them, but nobody ain't making prison at all, at all, at all. See if you remember this one. Pastor Pandey was Prime Minister, Ramesh the AG. When they condemn 8 men for murder, also told Chedi. I suspected something was fishy when they hung all night. Knowing Ramesh was Chedi lawyer, they didn't waste time. Under that same regime, Dan Raj was charged for murder. Hippolytan state witness for the prosecutor. But it was just a matter of time, as Brooke Benton said. Soon as BNM get back in power, Dan Raj Singh get away. So Dan Raj
Get away scot-free.
Ramesh Maharaj
They never charge you.
the Ratna did commit that kind of crime. Well, now we in jail learning how to wine, but Pilcho too.
Get away scot-free.
Steve Ferguson.
He free already.
Once they have Carlots and Philip Bliss in the trail, none of them wouldn't make a jail. Not stands if you remember this one. You must remember this one. Police found some coke and a missile in a water tank. Tongue said that they must charge the fella. I'm telling you, Frank. With that kind of evidence in hand, so the critics say, as a big UNC minister, he can't get away. I was even hearing talks, you may not believe me. People say he controlled the 2 gangs in Laventi. PNM supporters put that day, Pandey started a ball. Investigation was stopped, as you know the man wasn't charged at all. Louis Gomez
Get away scot-free.
and Sadiq Bash.
They never charge you.
The police did find all that coke by Coco. The midget would be making jail until he grew, but Richardson,
Get away scot-free.
Brian Quaitong,
He free already.
once they happen and the lima beating the rail, none of them wouldn't make a jail. Love you, grandstand. Love you, Northstand.
I am Winston Henry, better known as the Explainer. And when I'm in New York, I look at Caribbean Insight, the Rasmus Man.
Thank you for making Caribbean Insight your #1 stop for culture. Today we have over 10,000 subscribers. You have showed your interest in keeping Caribbean culture alive. We are offering you our t-shirt collections. Shirts that invoke thoughts and empowerment. They are collector's items and memorabilia. For your participation, go to the link below and make your contribution to foster the value of our Caribbean cultural stories. Thank you for your support as we continue to develop.
This is the Conky. I am living in New York and I don't ever miss Caribbean Insight. I don't see why you should miss it.
Last year after the competition, I sat down and draft out a plan. I say I go in and spend some time in the snow. I finish with Calypso. I tell myself this is not for me. No one man could be so damn bad lucky. And with my fans I'm telling me I lose, you get robbed. I go in Brooklyn and look for a decent job. But then I remember Pandey's still in power. And if I leave here, my fans go suffer. Vital information the public won't know. Then something open my eyes and make me realize I was born to sing Calypso. For when I read the clip on the newspaper saying how Carlos John paved the savannah, and Daphne saying that it was unusual, no one gave him the approval. And up to now, the whole country confused, cause they can't tell we yet what money they use. I tell myself New York I can't go, is why I stay back to pound them in Calypso. Ding 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 la da la 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 da. And this one is so crook. Tree la la ding. After considering some job of this sort, I decide to give it a thought. But what work will I do to make my dreams come true and keep my family happy too? First to begin, I have no green card, so to find a decent job that will be real hard. Boy, I lay down on my bed, they bust in my brain, because I don't want to sing no Calypso again. It's when I remember watchman gone away, and if I leave now, what jazz he go say? Then it's only crow remain to take up the task. Boy, I start to ride fast, don't care if I come last. I want to eat Dan Raj for breakfast. For when I hear about the corruption in URP, and soon I sing wrote a letter, say they threatening me. Dan Raj admit he saw the letters, man, and started investigation. But Dan Raj sing reminds me of spoiler, himself suspect, himself guilty of murder. Tell me Jack Ramish because he might know, is why I stay back to place them with Calypso. Ding 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 la ding. Ding 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 la 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 ding. Well, I make up my mind, me ain't going away, so it's string big, oh I would stay. I'll try to do my best, now and then take a rest, but to live in Brooklyn, no way. Me ashamed to admit as man, I can't do without me Calypso and pan. And as a citizen of this land, I must declare, if I can make it here, I won't make it anywhere. And when I remember in the Miss Universe show, I see a Omar make Pandey look like a real papi show. I see she on the papers, sitting in Holyfield lap. That woman is a trap. Why can they condone that? If it was me, she sure get a tap. And when I read about the confusion with Penco Caesar and the young woman, I tell myself, look how these people lose their life. I was sorry for Penco wife, but when I see my ball and hold she head, I almost believe it was Pandey who dead. See how this woman lonely for so, is why I stay into romance she with Calypso. Ding 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 la ding 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 la do. She la 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 la. Telling me how the UNC in jeopardy. He say, Aloes, my boy, I want a remedy quick, because my minister of finance, he taking sick. I don't know what went wrong, but like he get the squeeze. The other day in parliament, he began to sneeze. And the only time he gets the allergy is whenever Imbolton Valley questioning he who own Royal Castle Fried Chicken. The travel agency Aladdin, who got the job in the savannah, who is Northern contractor. You say, Aloes, why the thing is so frustrating? I don't believe it, squeal, Mr. Mr. White tongue squealing, but somehow I feel he trying to tell the nation the whole of the UNC involved in corruption. Yes. Say, Aloes, I don't understand what's going on, but I never see a man sneeze so since I born. Just like Nigel Lewis, the man got the urge, and he knows that to drip as though he get purged. The opposition began to stomp and shout. Vincent last make him a sign to cover him mouth. I see he make up his face as though he ain't paid. And with that the man going back sneezing again. 600 acres in Matura, and 52 million for Winshaw. Who owned the Maritime Casino? Who had the contract for Piaco? I see quite tongue make a drift like he going to fall. Still in Button Valley won't ease the pressure at all. He block he nose with a coach if but to no avail. I swear the whole of the UNC going in jail. Good evening. Unity, my PM asks for unity. It's a lovely request, but who the hell he trying to fool? When members of the UNC have shown Trinbagonians blatantly that their mission in life is simply divide and rule. Cause when I look around Trinbago, I just can't see how many people could live in unity when there's segregation caused by racialism. So long as we still have people who pushing hate, the little money they have make them feel they're great, and they feel Africans are inferior. You can't have unity, you'll have civil war. Cause if a Hindu priest could say bluntly, time that Hindus have their own bank, it means that Africans don't have money. Them alone could pull all the rank. The little daughter could date a Chinese, a Syrian or a white man. But if she ever date an African, he will never have grandchildren. He said that the PNM government had a plan to doughlarize the land. So they built the schools in a way to force Indian children to sit next to Africans. I have to see Satmaraj and Adashiki for I to believe that they're serious about unity. The Indians and Africans living in this land under same circumstance was oppressed by the white man. But they volunteer while we were captured, sold and brought here. We were considered as slaves, but history said they were indentured. Yet through it all, we still stick together in sun and rain. On the plantation where we cut the cane, it didn't have no party. Was love and harmony. But politicians have we brains all inflated. They keep fanning the flames of hatred long before it had a UNC. You and I was living in unity. But now they talking about ethnic cleansing. They say we must stick to we own kind. But the old people, they have a saying that time is longer than twine. African supports Indians religiously. Anything they have, we right there. For when they celebrate Eid and Diwali, we build Jose and Lydia. We children just go to the prayers and eat parasad, regardless how big or small. But if a Baptist have a Thanksgiving on the block, they don't send the children at all. When I keep Shango feast and they come by me, then I go believe they're ready for unity. Some Calypsonians today are being used by some Indians, and me afraid to call name. I'm talking about Brother Marvin. For a few penny, he desecrate African history, then try to mama guy we saying he promoting unity. He proclaimed to be so proud to be part seed of India. He big up his grandma and pa, but I was ignorant to claim African descendant. Big chutney contest, I prove him to be an ass. When the judges said he came to last, all the love they love Ija Haji Bai, he still couldn't defeat Sonny Man or Ricky Jai. But in the Dimastra competition, they found that Brother Marvin got robbed. They never see Crow as the champion. The major didn't do a good job. So Sat Maharaj invite Marvin down central, put a gallon around his neck, then told the children that was their monarch, but no motor car and no check. He then instruct the children not to listen. Crow, not this butcher from Port of Spain. I hear he translate 2 songs for Charlene Budram like he hate Calypso again. Until I hear soca playing on Sangi Daily, then I go believe they're ready for unity. When you want unity, you have to treat each one equally. Be it African, Syrian, white man or Chinese, cosmopolitan is the status of this twin island. So why the hell Sat Maharaj washing him out on African? I think it's time someone put this big belly man in his place, cause we all belong to the human race in the eyes of the Creator. No one is greater. There shouldn't be no discrimination. That's an example of unity. Years ago when an Indian girl reached 12 or 13, they will find she a husband. But it's not so nowadays. Them girls say it pays to run away with an African. If Sat Maharaj gets some water from Palm or Daphne, he might understand the sweetness of unity. But wait, this man changing and true, but yeah. We had an election that wasn't too clean, but the 2 competitors end up 18-18. The nation had gridlock for an attention in the land. It was up to Robbie
to make a decision. Some say he'll give it to Pandy, others say in Manil. Nobody knows which way, but we all hoping. And while we waiting to exhale, UNC got a surprise. On Christmas Eve at 5:45, the sun refused to rise. Satmaraj was so disappointed when Robinson said, sing!
Hey, Mr. Pandy, make way for the Balizé.
The country riddled with corruption, murders every day.
Hey, Mr. Pandy, make way for the Balizé.
As I'm only asking for recount to cause a delay.
Hey, Mr. Pandy, make way for the Balizé.
They thought Silver Fox would have get it, Rami say no way.
Hey, Mr. Pandy, make way for the Balizé.
Outside! I'm feeling the wine. Oh my God! We back! We are back! Ding, 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 ding. Robbie told the nation in a subtle voice, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me no choice. I make this decision in the interest of the nation. I hope that the public will try and understand. After several meetings with local and foreign lawyers, the deciding factor rests on my shoulders, where moral and spiritual value seems to be missing. It leaves me no choice but to give it to Patrick Manning. After a couple weeks of debating, the president said,
Hey, Mr. Pandy, make way for the Balizé.
Kamala tried to convince Robinson, but he said no way.
Hey, Mr. Pandy, make way for the Balizé.
Manning appointed Glenda as AG on that very day.
Hey, Mr. Pandy, make way for the Balizé.
I hear Manning whisper to Pandy, leave them bench right there.
Hey, Mr. Pandy,
Make way for the Balizé. Hello, hello, you are now the opposition leader. Your office is on Frederick Street. Ding, 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 ding. Bang, 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 boom, boom. Pandy didn't remember. He told this nation, if he and a lion fighting, feel sorry for the lion. With Ramesh at his side, he felt indispensable. So right through the 6 years, he gave Robbie trouble. He went on to fire the two members from Tobago. Pam gets so much pressure that she had to go. But Tobagonians have a saying, I tell you my friend, the fight is not for the strongest, but for who endures to the end. Tobago went in tribulation when Robinson said,
Hey, Mr. Pandy, make way for the Balizé.
when Vincent and Griffith crossed the floor, you thrown her away.
Hey, Mr. Pandy, make way for the Balizé.
All the wickedness you do, Robbie, I know you will pay.
Hey, Mr. Pandy, make way for the Balizé.
And don't forget the 7 losers you make him swearing that day.
Hey, Mr. Pandy,
Get out!
make way
Get
for
out!
the Balizé.
Get out! Oh, ding, 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 ding. The decision was easy, in my point of view. There should be no problems to choose between the two. One is a dictator, corrupt to the core. Next one a decent man, humble evermore. Divine intervention is what intervened. That is why the master tied them 1818. Robbie was the one make the error some 6 years or so. So God give him a chance to correct it before he go. Rad mission to the master, you cannot stay.
Hey, Mr. Monday, make way for the balance.
All them TV6 reporter, you insult each day.
Hey, Mr. Monday, make way for the balance.
Those who you call Kobo and Jackass laughing. Hey, 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 hey,
hey, Mr. Monday, make way for the balance.
Boy, if you know how long I was waiting to sing this laugh way.
Hey, Mr. Monday,
make way for the balance. Let me hear you say,
hey, Mr. Monday, make way for the balance.
If you support Aloe as monarch, then sing the last way.
Hey, Mr. Monday, make way for the balance.
If you love Manning as the PM, let me hear you say,
hey, Mr. Monday, make way for the balance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
Hey, Mr. Monday, make way for the balance.
Hey, Mr. Monday,
make way for the balance.
Boss, you know the best thing you before you come on stage of the road. Why ever going on here? I just want everything to be safe with you.
Hey, Mr. Monday, make way for the balance.
Hey, Mr. Monday,
make way for the balance.
Hey, Mr. Monday,
make way for the balance.
Hey, Mr. Monday,
make way for the balance.
Hey, Mr. Monday,
make way for the balance.
Hey, Mr. Monday,
make way for the balance.
Hey, Mr. Monday,
make way for the balance.
Love you, grandson. Love you, not son.
Hey, Mr. Monday, make way for the balance. Hey, Mr. Monday, make way for the balance.
I am Nolly Brown, known in the Calypso world as the Brown Boy. And whenever I'm in New York, I always watch a Caribbean Insight.
Thank you for making Caribbean Insight your #1 stop for culture. Today we have over 10,000 subscribers. You have showed your interest in keeping Caribbean culture alive. We are offering you our t-shirt collections. Shirts that invoke thoughts and empowerment. They are collector's items and memorabilia. For your participation, go to the link below and make your contribution to foster the value of our Caribbean cultural stories. Thank you for your support as we continue to develop.
Hey, you will see all around that. You're sure to see explainer and the Caribbean Insight. Put things right in Caribbean Insight. Sure to put things right.